Hi, and welcome to Beauty on Board, Voyage International Beauty Show on Yachting International Radio. Today, we have got a very exciting episode waiting for us, so with that being said, let's jump into it.
With that being said, Brittany, can you tell us more about yourself and what you do?
Right. Hi, guys. My name's Brittany Irvine-Fortescue. I'm originally from Johannesburg. I got into the yachting industry about 4 years ago. My first gig was on a boat in Turkey where I was a beauty stewardess. Enjoyed it so much, carried on the industry, and actually ended up meeting my fiance in Monaco about 3 years ago. And yeah, we're back in South Africa. We recently got back from the States as we're getting married next month. So yeah,
that's very exciting.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, I can imagine like starting your yachting journey and then finding the love of your life along the way. That's amazing.
It is so incredible, but I tell you what, it's not for everyone. That will honestly test your relationship. You're working together, you're eating together, you are constantly in each other's space. So definitely a test for marriage.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, especially as you mentioned, working on board and being in a relationship, it should be a very well-balanced relationship.
100%.
How did you start your yachting journey, and what was your biggest fear when you just started out?
So for me, I think it was just leaving home, being away from my family. My family's quite close and it's always been quite a big support system. So I left for Turkey and it was a bit daunting at first, especially being in the airport. I actually have a bit of a funny story. I arrived in Istanbul and ordered my Uber to go meet the manager of the boat in the center of town. And as my Uber arrived, I got in, everything was great until he drove about 10 meters and got pulled out by another taxi driver and they started fighting in the middle of the road. I got out the taxi because I didn't know what was going on, and he opened the boot of the car and he's still fighting with this other taxi driver. So he starts driving away. All my luggage is in the back, so I start panicking. Oh my goodness, then there's another taxi driver who comes out of nowhere. He pulls my bag out and he gives it to me. And then I'm just kind of standing on the side while they carry on fighting. And zips off the Uber driver goes, he drives around. And he actually messaged me on Uber and said, come to the back. But no, I'm so petrified. I don't want to go anywhere.
No, I don't want to go to the back. Not after witnessing a fight.
No ways. So I went back into the airport and managed to organize, kind of gathered my thoughts and got another taxi, one of the regular taxi drivers. But yeah, apparently they have a bit of a argumentative relationship there in Turkey with the Uber drivers and the normal taxi drivers. So don't do that.
That's interesting. Well, now all of us know. Just for interest's sake, how did you, in that specific situation, how did you calm yourself or find a way to balance yourself? Because if you haven't been to Turkey, I'm assuming you are now in a country you haven't been before. You're getting ready to start a new career, and now you witness two complete strangers fighting, and you just want your luggage because you want to start your journey. How did you calm yourself down?
Honestly, it was all about breathing and just trying to gather my thoughts. Just went back into the airport and kind of took a minute. Sat down for a bit and then just thought, hey, I've got to get on with it. So yeah, I guess that's what you have to do. You have to be quite quick thinking on your feet. So yeah,
I can imagine. Yeah, that's a very good quality to have. I think it's a must-have when you work on board, actually.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. And prior to yachting, I was actually working as a manager in a medical aesthetics firm or spa in Joburg. So I did have that impulse or knowledge to kind of deal with stressful situations.
That's good.
Because you always get those people who come in and the first thing they want is, can I speak to the manager? Can I speak to the manager?
Yes.
So yeah, that did also obviously teach me how to deal with a stressful
That's really
environment.
good. That's so good. Can you describe what it is like being a beauty and massage therapist on board a yacht? How different is it than being a beauty or massage therapist on land?
Okay, so it is very different. There's obviously two paths you can go. You can either do your freelancing where you only focus on your beauty or massage treatments, or you could go beauty stewardess, which you would still be doing your regular stewardess jobs throughout the day, so either housekeeping or service. And then, or some boats you do both. You'll do housekeeping and service, the smaller boats. Whereas your bigger boats, I think about 60 meters plus, you'd either be in only housekeeping or only service. And you would just have to kind of slip in your treatments into your daily routine, which obviously depends on the guest preferences. So that's the beauty stewardess half of it. And if you're freelancing and you're just doing your beauty on board, that you would just come in, you'd meet up with the boats, and you would only do your treatments. So your guests would book, mostly your charter boats would do it this way, but you would only have your treatments. So you're there, you're relaxing in either the cabin that you get given or the crew mess or crew lounge. And when you have to do your treatments, you just go up and you would either do your treatments wherever they set up the plinth, or you would do it in a specific treatment room. So yeah, it just depends on the size of the boat and what kind of boat it is.
Oh, that's really interesting. How you mentioned that sometimes you will be busy with one of your housekeeping tasks and then you will just have to get ready and do a massage or a beauty treatment. How in that specific scenario do you just, zen it out? You are supposed to be calm now. You should be giving it the most relaxing treatment, have a very ambient space. How do you create that in like minutes for your clients and your guests?
Yeah, so that's actually a great question. I think it's all about preparation, firstly. So make sure that you have your area that you're using or utilizing for your treatments. Make sure that's all set up first thing in the morning. So that you don't have to worry if you're making a bed or you're exactly to get your clients. Often you would need to change obviously into a different set of clothing for the treatment itself. And yeah, just kind of gathering your thoughts, like I said again. Okay.
Breathing helps as well.
Yes, so breathings, meditation techniques, or kind of just taking the moments aside and going, okay, here we go, about to start a treatment, and just calming down really, because something that does happen obviously on board is that it's quite a quick pace. So your adrenaline's constantly pumped through your body. You're always like on the lookout, on the move. So yeah, just taking a moment to kind of just zen yourself, I would recommend.
That's really, really great advice. What words of encouragement do you have to fellow stewardesses or any individuals who want to take the first step into yachting?
So what I would recommend is that if you are in South Africa, you can actually start applying online to all the yacht agencies. Definitely try and establish a support system. So join as many groups as you can, either on Facebook or on WhatsApp, or just try and branch out and speak to people who may already be in the industry.
Yeah, networking.
Exactly. I don't think you should ever join a yacht before speaking to someone who's already been in the industry and networked out, to try and get a background on the boat, to make sure that it's a legitimate boat.
Yes.
And also to kind of get a bit of feedback on the boat itself. So trying to understand, how's the crew? Questions you should ask is, how big's the crew? What's the dynamic of the crew? What's their nationality? What's the program of the yacht? If you are obviously being a beauty stew on board, you need to know at what percentage you'll be doing treatments and what percentage you would be doing either your housekeeping or your service. So just really trying to get an overview look at what your job description would be, so that there's no confusion and you're not doing stewardessing 100% of the time and never getting to your treatments, or if that is something for you, that you do know that that's what you're getting into.
Yeah, that's really, really, really great advice. Thank you so much for that. Would you recommend others to take up the skill of beauty and massage on board? Also being a qualified beauty and massage therapist, is that something you would recommend?
100%, 100%. You definitely get a better rate for it. And I mean, obviously, there's a lot of girls in the industry. If you're not passionate about your job, you wouldn't be doing it. So if that passion's there, I mean, why not take it on board and travel with it?
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. We always say that to our students. The best part about being a therapist is that you can be a therapist on land and at sea.
100%, 100%.
Yes, Brittany, thank you
so much for tuning in on Beauty on Board, Voyage International Beauty Show on Yachting International Radio. This has been a great episode and I thank you for tuning in. See you next time. I'm Lalani and I've been your host.